Great, so thank you all of you for coming. I'm super excited about this meetup. This is the second meetup of the AWS Partners Group. I'm Nufar Asselman, I'm the head of business development at Hexagon. And I founded this group, this community group just a few months ago. I realized I'm in Hexagon about just longer than a year, and I realized that there are so many things that I learned along the way just by speaking to partners. And I saw that there is an AWS users community, but there is not an AWS partners community. So the plan for this group is basically to share knowledge, to meet every month, 2, 3 with partners, talk with different partners, understand what worked for them, what didn't, share our knowledge with each other, and create a community. And for me, it saves so much time in the entire process in different stages. So hopefully it will do the same for you guys. And what I'm trying to do here is basically to see what is the demand, what do you want to hear about, what do you want to focus on, and this is how we frame the meetups. So for instance, this meetup is a co-selling meetup, and this meetup basically was created by partners coming to me asking, hey, it would be great to have co-selling, to hear some partners talking about how they co-sell with AWS, and learn from that experience, and basically leverage the partnership as we move forward. So the plan for this meetup, it was Google Docs, so it's a bit mixed up. So the plan is, as I said, to talk about how you can co-sell with AWS. Every partner wants to co-sell with AWS, right? It's really, that's the holy grail. So you will hear from different partners in different stages. So you will hear from Lavi from Spotins, a great part of AWS about how they, and concrete examples on how they doing co-sell with AWS, and also from CoreLogix about how they even got to this stage of co-selling with AWS, because it's not that easy. And I will share my experience from the last year about how we managed to create a partnership with AWS, and essentially also to do some co-sell initiatives with them. So please reach out to me afterwards if you want to have a specific topic for next meetups. I'm more than happy to, to take some comments and see how we can do very relevant sessions in the next meetups. So after this preview, basically, after the 3 sessions, we will have some time for Q&A. We can just socialize here, and you can speak with the speakers. So I will start with how we do, in Hexagon, how we do co-sell. In this specific session, I will be focusing on the ACE program, as you will hear about different programs from Lavi and Ariel moving forward, so we will not overlap each other. So first, what Hexagon is doing. Hexagon is providing automated tracing platform. It's a SaaS platform that basically helps customers to adopt microservices on AWS. When customers on AWS move from monoliths or traditional application to microservices, it's a great transition in terms of the value that they can get, because AWS manage the entire infrastructure for the customer, but it comes with a few challenges. One of the major challenges is visibility. When your app is distributed and you have lots of moving pieces, as you see here, it's really difficult to actually correlate between these different events, because each of the events is just moving asynchronously and run by AWS. So in terms of our value proposition to AWS partners, and this is very important moving forward, what is your value proposition to the AWS customers in particular, as it's basically we help customers to adopt microservices. We help them to build faster, their application faster. We help them to improve their user experience. And we help them basically to scale in confidence. And this is really important for them, just to be focusing on building the application and not about monitoring or troubleshooting the application. So where are we in the partnership status? So a year ago, we had no partnership at all with AWS. And basically, I started to build this partnership along that year. And the first thing we did is basically to get into the advanced partner status. Today, it's a bit more complicated. You have to gain 20 launch opportunities, you have to have 4 certificates. And I'm happy to say that today we already are advanced partners by the new requirements. And we do have 2 competencies, DevOps competency and data and analytics competencies. This really helps us in terms of differentiation. As you will see moving forward, you will see that there are so many partners and you would want to be unique. You want to differentiate your company. So competency is one of the ways to do that. And we also selling our product in the marketplace. So we are supporting enterprise contract and also private offers. We will have a dedicated session meetup for marketplace as well along the way. And we also a public sector partner. So co-selling with AWS, where do we start? Again, many partners, all of them wants to sell with AWS. So for me, what really help is those 3 things. First is differentiation. Many partners, how you are different. Differentiation can be obtained by competencies, by traction in your marketplace, in the opportunity tools, in many ways. But competency, for me, was the game changer. Once I got the competency, I unlocked other programs that really helped me to do co-sales initiatives. Joint value proposition, it's not just what I'm doing for AWS customer, but how I help AWS sales managers in their job. So basically, if they want to help customers to adopt microservices or they have different goals, I want to help them to achieve these goals, regardless on the focus of what Epsilon is doing. I need to find how exactly I can help to the AWS sales representative. And the third key point is basically data. You need to show AWS, hey, AWS, I'm not gonna just relying on your capabilities and please do me a favor and sell my product as well. No, you have to show that you're doing awesome by yourself. And you want to say to AWS, hey, I'm doing so great by myself, we can even get better together. So have some growth data, show them how you can increase the joint value proposition. If you're saying that you help to adopt certain services, show them exactly how you do that. Show them in numbers how you help different customers in their journey in adoption or whatever it is that your company is doing. And show exactly the data that will convince AWS sales representatives to even care about your product. Because they have so many partners talking to them, you want to be the partner that they will help and remember. So what are we doing today in terms of the ACE program? Basically 4 steps. And the flow is basically we submit an opportunity through the APN portal. All of you should know the APN portal by now. You have to submit the opportunities just because you need to. This is a requirement for the AWS Advanced Partnership. Once you submit an opportunity, you get the contact details of the account manager of this specific opportunity. Engage with this AWS sales team. Even if you don't have a specific thing that you actually need from this guy or girl, engage with them and even just start a discussion. Even like, hi, I just want to reach out. I'm working with this and that. Am I working with the right people? Get feedback and start to build your awareness within AWS sales representatives. And the main goal for this engagement, for the opportunities that you're working on, is basically that this account manager can help you to accelerate deals. Okay? So for us, I will show in a minute a concrete example of how AWS sales representative helped Epsilon just to accelerate deal in 2 months through the marketplace. So first you want them to accelerate a deal, and after you close and won, hopefully, this deal, you can potentially work with this representative and get AWS referrals. Anyone have got an AWS referral so far? By showing hands? 2 persons? Okay. So opportunity referrals are just referrals or opportunities that you get proactively to your APN portal. It's not an opportunity that you created. It's an opportunity that a sales representative created for you. So you will see it in the portal just as an inbound from AWS. So that's what we did. We submit opportunities, we engage with the sales reps, and then in the same time that we're talking about the specific opportunity, we also educate them about Epsilon and say, hey, how many accounts are you managing? 50. Awesome. So let's talk after we close this one, and we do close this one. Let's talk about the other 49 customers that you're managing. And sometimes it's 1,000 customers that this rep is covering. So this is super important to be engaged with this person, to have a dedicated collateral for this person, exactly like one pager. What do you want them to know? Short, simple, and to the point, and show them not just what are you doing, how you can help them to grow their customers' business. So this is an opportunity, and I will show two opportunities. One is how we accelerated the deal with AWS, and another one how we got a few opportunities referrals just by one initiative. So the first one is how we accelerate the deal. It's from opportunity to a deal in 2 months, just working with AWS. So in February 2019, we registered an opportunity in the APN. As always, we have a new opportunity, and we register it. And then, of course, as you may know, the opportunity gets validated. We get the contact person from the contact details of this rep. And then after we engage with this rep, we started a few discussions with him, and even meeting the customers together with the sales rep. And this sales rep really helped us to get some inside information. They had a competitive analysis that they did back then between Epsilon to another vendor. And he basically helped us understand what is important for them. And we could play along just by understanding their concerns and exactly what is the right messaging for them. And also, they had a budget issue. So it's not that they didn't have a budget. It is a huge organization. So for them to onboard a new vendor, it's going to be 9 to 12 months. And we are a startup, so we didn't want to wait that long. And basically what he said, let's do a marketplace deal. And he pushed them to do a marketplace deal. And after 2 months, basically we signed the deal. And this is a relatively large organization that we would never be able to sign a deal with without the help of AWS. Opportunity referral. So again, the holy grail is eventually to get opportunities referrals. Because you can submit many opportunities to the APN, but the main goal of doing co-sell with AWS is basically that AWS will be able to help you with new opportunities to your pipeline. So how do you do that? So this is very difficult because you need to gain the trust of the AWS sales representative. So it may take some time to work with each and every one of the reps individually. But something that I really recommend is doing one-to-many sessions. It's not, from my experience, it's not that easy to do one-to-many session. Here in Tel Aviv, it was very nice because Leah, our account manager, just took care of that like that. But in other locations, it takes some time to find the right person and to actually have him help you, because that's the main challenge. He has, again, so many partners that want to do launch and learn with, and it's just really difficult. So what I did here, this is a launch and learn that we did in New York. So we submitted a lot of opportunities. It's like, before you get opportunities from AWS, you need to give some. So I saw that many of the opportunities that we submitted are basically with account managers that are based in New York. And it's really important to see exactly like what is the territory that you see lots of opportunities in, because this is exactly where you want to focus your educational sessions. So I basically talked to one of the account managers in New York and said, hey, I just noticed that it was the most helpful one. I just noticed that we are working with like 15 opportunities and account managers in New York. Do you think it would be helpful to do like a one-to-many session? We'll come to your office, provide the launch, you will learn, and let's see what comes out of that. And he said, awesome, let me connect you with my PSM. PSM, it's a partner sales manager. So after a few months, it took like 3 months, we were able to get in a room about 25 sales reps and also SAs, and 10 additional people were joined remotely. So we were able to do a session, and in 1 hour, instead of talking to one representative, we talked to a bunch. And within like 4 weeks, We got 4 opportunities, and we're still getting the opportunities from this meetup, well, this Launch and Learn. So this is very crucial to the account managers. You need to be very specific, because in the end of the day, they will only remember one thing from everything that you said. So you need to say exactly what are the workloads that you are the best at. So for them, in order to filter which companies in their portfolio can be candidates for you, you need to specify the exactly services so they can just filter very easily and refer customers to you very fast. Another thing that we did here is after the Launch and Learn, we provided them with a template for just to use to their customers. We said, hey, when you understand which customers are relevant, filter your portfolio. Don't even bother of writing an email. We will write it for you. So we'll just provide them with a template that they could just adjust as per their needs. So that was very valuable. So the key takeaways from this session, and I think the next phase of the ACE program is basically how you get to the Accelerate, the ISV Accelerate program that Lavi will mention and talk about. And if I need to wrap up, it's like the key takeaways is first, differentiate your business. Do whatever you can, because people sometimes ask me, what are you doing more competencies? One is enough. And I say, yeah, one is enough to unlock few programs. But as you have more and more competencies, it's a great differentiator compared to others. We are working now on 2 additional competencies that hopefully will be obtained very soon. Work very closely with the AWS teams and learn from one call to another. Every single account managers that you have an opportunity with, have a phone call, have a 30 minutes or 20 minutes phone call. Try to have a personal connection. Help him to help you and see exactly what are the needs. Ask them what will be helpful for them that you can provide and make their life easier to help you. Third, highlight your AWS business. I know that you only need to submit 20 launch opportunities to the APN, but I say don't stop there. I mean, what helped Epsagon was to get into advanced stages with AWS and co-sell with AWS was the opportunities. So we did not stop in 20 opportunities. We moved much more than 20 opportunities. And this will help us to highlight our AWS business. I wanted us to be the partner that has, in terms of the stage of the company, has the most of the opportunities that we can create, and basically to be like the best student in class. So that's what we try to do, and it really helped us to get the attention that we needed. And then hold one-to-many sessions as much as you can. Just try. Sometimes it works. I mean, I tried with 3 different PSMs. With one of them, it worked. And now we basically tried in different other territories. But it's really important to be focused on the territory and see that you already have an audience there that you're in touch with. And then it will make sense for this audience to do a Launch and Learn. Another thing I would say about Launch and Learn, do a survey afterwards. Measure everything that you can. Once you measure it and you understand if it was a success, you can replicate that and come with data to other sales representatives or PSMs and say, hey, it worked very well in New York. Let's do it in London. And then if it wasn't that successful, then you can learn what wasn't very successful and can get better from there. Questions? Cool. So, Lavi, thank you.
Okay, great. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much, Nofar, for the opportunity to speak here and the opportunity to present to you. My name is Lavi. I'm the VP of Strategy and Global Sales for Spotinst. I'm going to talk today about our partnership with AWS, obviously. But I'm going to talk about a different thing than what Nofar just presented. I will skip the basics, and I will skip our first 2 years of building the partnership with AWS and take you to the next step of how we actually were able to scale the operation with AWS and take it to the next step. Just before I start, just to get to know you a bit more. So who here is AWS partner? I assume everyone? Almost. Who is related to the business side? Technology side? Great. So I try to touch all of it. I will do it more as, of course, presenting and lecturing, but feel free to stop me at any time. If you have any question, you can wait until the end or just interrupt in the middle. That's fine. Who knows who Spotinst is? Anyone heard about Spotinst before? OK, not all of you. Cool. So just a very short overview about Spotinst and who we are, because it will help you to understand some more things later on. So Spotinst was founded in 2015. At the same year, we became an AWS partner, raised some money. Today, we have more than 1,000 customers worldwide in more than 50 countries. We have more than 150 employees in 5 offices globally. What are we doing? So if someone asks you what Spotinst is doing, what would be the answer? Anyone? Great. So it's cloud workload automation. Many people connect us automatically to the concept of Spot instances in AWS. And that's right, we do manage Spot instances in the most reliable way, saving our customers about 80% of their cost. But on top of that, also enable to automate the entire infrastructure provisioning by matching the right infrastructure to the right workload, meaning choosing the right instance types, families, sizes, and so on to the workload that's running on top of it. On top of that, making sure to increase high availability and resiliency and help with simplifying continuous software deployment. Our customers, this is important as well because it will be really attached to what we are trying to do with AWS. So as you can see here, I can't tell you that there is only one specific type of customer that is using Spotinst. You will see here some enterprise customers, big ones like Samsung and Sony and American Family Insurance. You will see here hyperscale startups like Fiverr, Ticketmaster, Wix, demand-based, and so many more. The concept is that every customer that is actually using AWS infrastructure is a relevant customer, but focus is critical, and we will talk about it. So before I jump into scale, let's talk about the basics. So Nofar covered most of it, but I'll try to do it very quickly. So let's say this was the journey for Spotinst in the first 2 years when we started to partner with AWS. So first of all, figure out the basics. Go with your partner tier. Make sure that you're in the right tier. Typically, if you're an ISV technology partner, go to the advanced technology level. The idea is that the partnership with AWS is very similar to a video game. As long as you unlock more and more steps during the way, more levels during the way, you will get more options and more opportunities. Nofar touched it. When you unlock competency, you get more products. When you unlock, for example, marketplace seller, you get some more opportunities. So try to cover all the basics at the beginning. It means, we talked about it, partnership tier, competencies, anything that's relevant for you. So for example, for us, it was containers competency, cloud management tools, and DevOps competency. But try to see all of them. And by the way, one hint, try to understand what are the next competencies that AWS is going to launch. For example, for the containers competency, we were a launch partner with AWS for the containers competency. I will talk later on how you can get access to what is coming on, but try to be there. It gives you a lot of marketing and a lot of exposure to the market when you launch a competency together with AWS. So that's the story with the containers competency. Public sector partner, if you're selling to public sector, be a public sector partner. It helps you with credibility in this sector. If you are selling to governments, security agencies, and so on, make sure that you're there. Marketplace, I will touch it in more details. Quick starts. that's a great thing. I won't touch it in this presentation, but Quick Start is actually a blog post and a deployment that you're writing together with AWS that helps customers to quickly start with your product. For example, we launched a Quick Start for managing EKS environments with Spotinst in 7 minutes. So in one click, it gives you a new AWS VPC with all the needed configuration for EKS environment, connected to Spotinst environment, and there you go, you have a new customer. And lastly, case studies. Everyone loves case studies. Every customer wants to see case study. When you do case study with AWS, you have all the credibility that it actually worked, and you don't just write a name on a paper. And you will see it in a second. We talked about the basics. All of it is great, but eventually, it's all about marketing. One smart guy, he's sitting back there, once told me that. It's all about marketing. It's great that you're an AWS partner. It's great that you're doing competency. It's great that you're doing quick start and case studies. But if no one knows about it, it's not really helpful. So do your best to market everything. For example, we announced a strategic partnership with AWS at the beginning of 2018. That was a very big initiative that we did. So we published it. You can see here an example from TechCrunch, but you have it all over the place. We did a case study with Duolingo. I guess all of you know Duolingo. If anyone learned another language, so you probably use Duolingo. Or if anyone traveled to Latin America, you probably use Duolingo. So Duolingo is one of our great customers. We did a case study that was mutual to AWS, Duolingo, and Spotinst about Duolingo journey with AWS and Spotinst. And then you see that you don't need to do anything. AWS is doing the marketing for you. They did the post in social. Other people in AWS are sharing it. So it's getting exposed to so many audience that can actually see your value and what you did with other customers. And also try to unlock as much as you can exposure from AWS executives. You see many examples of Jeff Barr, who is the chief evangelist in AWS, talking about many different news that Spotinst had with AWS. It helps you, again, to build credibility. And this is going to be exposed to so many people. Because if you see Jeff Barr, you will see that hundreds of thousands of people are following up on him. So when he tweets about something, many people are going to see that. So build the basics and eventually market it. Next step. So we understood that the partnership with AWS was really crucial for us. We saw that every time that we were talking to an AWS account manager or solution architect or anyone from the sales organization, the eyes were opened. Why is that? We understood exactly what is working well for AWS by leveraging Spotinst capabilities. So first of all, understand why AWS care about your product, why the sales team will take you to his account. Think about it. AWS is partnering with hundreds of ISV vendors, with ISV technology partners, right? You need to be the one that in the next conversation, the account manager will talk about you with his customer. He has 130 or 50, or I can continue count, of AWS services to talk about, and another hundreds of technology partners that he needs to talk about. He will probably choose only a few of them. So understand, first of all, why is it important to AWS? Second, understand who is your typical customer. Who is your ideal customer? When you figure out who is your ideal customer, you can focus. You can understand who is the sales team that I need to talk to? Who is the partner that I need to partner with? And you can understand how you're going to speak about it, how you're going to spread the word. So that's exactly why the ISV Accelerate program exists in AWS. So it took us a lot of time to unlock this opportunity, but this was crucial. We started at the beginning of this year. First of all, you have a dedicated ISV success manager. Together with him, you understand your ideal customer, you understand who are the people in AWS that you want to talk to, who are the sales teams, where they are located, globally, because yes, we're operating in Israel and in the US and Latin America and Europe and Asia, but you need some focus. You can't go all over. And eventually, scalable ways to enable AWS sales teams about your offering. What we understood is that when AWS sales team knows about our product, they unlock opportunities for us. They take us to their accounts. But then the biggest issue was that many of them just never heard about Spolinst. And that's the biggest thing. You need eventually to make sure that the sales teams knows about you. If they don't know about you, they will never talk about you. How do you do that? So in Israel, it's easy. Yes, go here, mingle, come to their office. Noam is doing it on a daily basis. So socialize. But how do you do it globally? You need to find ways to scale this operation. So Nofar talked about it, one-to-many. That's right. So one-to-many is a great opportunity. How you do it? You can do it through webinars, lunch and learns, and private AWS events. That's the three things that work well for us. Meaning, push to as many webinars with AWS audience. I'm not talking about customers. I'm talking only about AWS sales teams. Lunch and learns. Come to their office. Explain to their partner manager, to the sales leader, to the sales manager, to the solution architecture manager, why you need to come and talk about Spolinst. And then they open the doors probably and do some lunch and learn. So speak about your product and why they need to resell you. And private events. AWS is doing lots of events internally. They do it in the US, in Europe, in Asia. Try to be there. The way to know about it is to socialize, is to find personal connections to key people in order to know about those events and make sure that you are being invited. So last private event we took part was the West Coast Solution Architecture team in AWS that did a private event for the entire group. That's like hundreds of people in Vegas. And we had a chance to lecture in one of their sessions. Lastly, you don't see it here, but focus on relevant global territories. It's hard. Especially for startups, it's hard to expand all over. Yes, we know that we can sell all over, but try to focus. You have limited resources. You have huge market out there. Try to focus on the relevant countries where you're already successful and where you know that your team will be successful together with AWS. Second is the AWS Marketplace. So AWS Marketplace in general, doing two things. Unlock procurement barriers, and second, do it with partners, by the way. And second, even pushing the AWS sales team more towards your product. Why is that? First of all, every salesperson in AWS that has a quota, that carry a quota, when he sells ISV solutions through the marketplace, every dollar that goes to your pocket, half a dollar goes to his pocket. Okay? So for example, if Spolinst saw a revenue of $1,000 from a customer, the account manager sees $500 towards his quota. That's important for him. Second, I talked about it, procurement barriers. That's big. Nofar touched about it in the opportunity that she presented. And the idea is that when you're selling through the marketplace, AWS covering the entire procurement process. You're just a line item in the customer's AWS bill. It means that they don't need to sign a legal agreement with you. They don't need to open you as a vendor. You don't need to run through procurement processes. It makes it really easy. We really reduce sales cycles from months to weeks through the marketplace. Second, I guess most of you selling your products through resellers, through business partners. And that's a new thing. Anyone heard about the CPPO? Great. Only 1, 2, 3. Be really updated about what is new with AWS. That's really crucial. So CPPO is Consulting Partner Private Offers. What it means, if you're selling through a reseller, you can do it now in the marketplace. It means that the customer will sign a deal with AWS, and AWS will split the revenue between the reseller and you. It means that you are getting the chance to sell with the reseller through the marketplace, and everything is being covered by AWS, and you don't need to skip on the marketplace because it's now supported. What you need to make sure is that your partner is CPPO enabled, that you're CPPO enabled, and then you can simply create a private offer in the marketplace that includes a reseller and simply sell your product through a reseller in the marketplace. And Nofar said there will be a meetup specifically on the marketplace, so we need to deep dive on that. There are lots of things to learn about the marketplace. Next thing, build relationship with multiple AWS teams. One of the things that we are doing, and maybe we're wrong at the beginning, is working only with the sales teams. Because what you really want is to sell with AWS, so you say, yes, I will go to the sales team, I will talk about my product, I will educate them, enable them, and they will open doors to customers. But on top of that, there are so many teams and so many people in AWS that can help you. And I'm talking about sales, marketing, and even very important product teams. And let's start. First of all, always keep your partner manager in the loop. So we're talking to so many AWS people globally, but you want your partner to know about it so he can really manage that and understand, make sure that everyone is on sync and that he's not surprised with anything that's coming. So that's really crucial. Second, co-marketing opportunities. If you're talking to the marketing team, you will see that there are tons of co-marketing opportunities. You can do webinars together, lunch and learns, events, blog posts. There are so many things that can open doors for you and make sure that you spread the word about your product. And last thing, in my opinion, really crucial with AWS, share your roadmap with the relevant AWS product teams. Everyone here is doing, I guess, something different. We're selling different products to different audience, but for each and every one of us, have a product team that is relevant in AWS. For us, it's the Spot team. It's the containers team, if it's ECS, EKS, and many more. For Ariel, it's maybe the big data team, and so on. But make sure that the product team knows you. You need to work with them. Sometimes you're competing with them, so you need to work with them. Cover and unlock your roadmap to them because it works both sides. When you're open, AWS is open. When both of you open, you can find ways for alignment, and you can find ways how to work together. One example that I will give you here, by working with the Spot team, we're able to launch a webinar to tens of thousands of Spot customers that tried to use Spot and failed. So having a webinar specifically to this audience together with the AWS Spot team in order to give them another opportunity and another way to manage their environment on Spot instances with Spotinst. And that was huge. And that's only because we kept really good touch with the AWS product team. Really ending it up, trusted by the AWS executive team. Make sure that when you build the relationship, you get in touch with the executive team, that you get some sponsorship from the executive team. It helps you to unlock and get more and more and more people to work with, but in social and in your marketing, it gives you a stamp that AWS really cares about you and really wants to sell with you. You can see here an example, a phrase by Joshua Burgin, who is the general manager of EC2. Now, by the way, is a technology advisor for the senior vice president, so even got promoted. So Spotinst enables customers to move additional workloads to Spot instances with less effort and great confidence. That's a slide in every sales call. In every sales meeting, we show this slide. Why? It builds credibility. When AWS says that about you, customers understand that there is a really good offering here. So make sure that you get exposed to the executive team and get some sponsorship from them. I guess this is it. I guess right in time. But feel free to ask any questions if you have anything. Yeah.
I missed that part, but you said that how we can predict the new competency.
Oh, yeah. So first of all, be in a really good touch with your partner manager. And that's a really great point. When you start your journey with AWS, you will get a partner manager that is probably managing something like 1,000 or 2,000 partners. When you unlock more and more and more opportunities and go up in the tiers, you get more experienced partner manager that knows more about what is going on. Try to build really good connection with him so he can give you updates about everything that's happening. But you want to get updates on everything. And the idea is that if you want to get updates about the marketplace, build a good connection with the marketplace manager. There are two guys in Europe that managing the marketplace. Get to know them. If you want to know new stuff about competency, there is a director of competency in AWS. Get to know him. So build really personal connections to relevant people that can give you this, data in advance. There's no magic here. There's no website where you can sign up and get all the news and updates. It's really building personal connections in order to get it before everyone else. Yeah.
You already see some results from the CPO program?
Oh yeah. We just have one example of a really big and complex customer, this time in Asia, that really told us there's only one way that I'm signing a deal. It's going to be through the marketplace. If we'll go through legal and through procurement, it will take a year. You won't be relevant anymore. And we need to do it with a partner. Before the CPPO, you didn't have any way to do that. With the CPPO, you can do it. On top of that, those consulting partners, MSPs, integration partners with AWS, they want to sell with the marketplace. They get higher tiers. They get better connection to AWS as well. So it helps you and them to sell to your customers. So we really see good results on that. And on top of that, when we started to work with the CPPO, so we were among the first ones, so we built a really good connection with the marketplace team. And now also working on a case study about a customer that is using the marketplace with Spotinst and a partner through the CPPO. So again, more marketing, more exposure, but it's really helpful for the business as well. Other questions? Great. Thank you very much.